Keith. I met a friend for coffee this morning. I met with her and I said, hope you enjoyed summer. Feels like fall today already.
Yeah, it is funny. We kind of flirt back and forth. Yesterday felt that way too, where it was a bit breezy, a bit cooler.
The breeze took it down quite a bit.
Keep in mind though, I mean, mid-May, many years you never even think about going near the beach yet.
We've been fortunate in the last week, you're right.
Yeah, we've had a few where we've kind of moved in that direction. Today is actually a slow start, but we're getting there. We did have some cloud cover, some kind of debris cloudiness around this morning that kept temperatures down southern coastal Maine, but we've been able to break that out to a mixture of sun and clouds. As soon as we get the sun going, temperatures have been responding really quickly to 65 in Portland, 67 in Wiscasset, and 68 in Bangor. I'm sorry, 66 in Bangor. One thing that we talked about over the last few weeks that's been interesting about this pattern is this west-northwest flow that's been offsetting our naturally occurring sea breeze. We've been doing that pretty much every time we've been warming up. So the coast has been just as warm, if not warmer than inland. And that's just really not a thing we do in Maine in May, but we've done it the last 2 weeks and we're going to keep it going through most of this week too. So this model thinks we get into the mid-70s later this afternoon. I buy that if we can get enough sun going on. 71 in Bangor. A couple of showers start working their way into Aroostook County. And then tomorrow is really a split state forecast. We've got this front working down over northern Maine that'll crunch temperatures there, drop us down into the 50s, even some 40s across northern part of the state. But south of there, we're still in the warm sector. So 70 to 75 pretty easily, maybe even a little bit warmer if we can get a little bit more sunshine. So truly two different worlds, north of Bangor as opposed to south of Bangor, especially you get down to Augusta and into New Hampshire, those temperatures there in the upper 70s. That front eventually makes it all the way through the state on Tuesday night, but it probably dies out into just a shell of its former self by the time it gets in here. So just an isolated shower, sprinkle along the coastline. That front's offshore, and then we're back to it feeling cool again on Wednesday, starting in the 40s, only getting into the mid-50s, a little bit of a northwest breeze. Northwest is kind of a double-edged sword this time of the year. It's generally a good thing. It fights off a sea breeze, but it also can have that little cool vibe to it when you get it northwest behind a front like this. Temperatures only in the 50s, back into the 40s overnight. And then Thursday morning, it's looking pretty chilly, freezing or below in quite a few spots. Probably only for an hour or two, but still worth noting that it will be substantially cooler there. So there's that front. Technically a backdoor cold front, although not classic. Usually I like to see the backdoor cold fronts coming from northeast. This one's coming a little bit more north to south. Either way, it backs in on us, cools us down for Wednesday. Thursday morning's cool, but the overall pattern here is still the same. We're still in a ridge across the east, and as long as that's the overall pattern, we'll want to be or tend to be above average for temperatures. We'll have kind of undulations within that, but that's our overall theme, and we'll see that through late in the week. So Thursday morning, this is the coolest part of it. We probably get down to the mid-30s along the coast, about freezing inland, and then well below freezing into the mountains. Again, this doesn't go on for a prolonged period of time, but enough people, we've had enough nice days, they've planted stuff. And again, I'm going to tell you this again, I know nothing about gardening whatsoever. But if you do, and your plants can't handle this, that's what's going to happen on Thursday morning. So temperature trend here, you can see 60s mostly, upper 60s, couple of low 70s there through the end of the week as possible. Our next chance of precipitation really doesn't come in until Sunday. So we get a good run through the end of the week. We do see a sea breeze on Friday. We haven't seen many of those, Brian, but that's one of those days that's a little bit more typical where the coast is going to be 6, 7, 8 degrees cooler than inland. Should have a nice start to the weekend. It doesn't look great on Sunday, but then again, we still got 6 days to.
That's right, it can turn around.
It can't. It's
just like this week did.
It's probably not going to. But it could.
Come on.
It could. Yeah, you're right. It could.
There's a chance. Keith, thanks so much.